Are you ready to create something amazing? Welcome to Sneller Creative Promotion, custom promotional packaging, and unique marketing materials, making your business memorable. This is Sneller Creative Promotions, the podcast.
Welcome to Create Something Amazing. I'm Brendan Shanahan alongside Jeff Snell of Sneller Creative Promotions. Jeff, how you hanging in there?
2 kids home from college, doing their best to remain sane, and 8th grader as well. So changing times for everybody for sure.
Sure, and that brings us to the point of with what you do. How are you dealing with the stay-at-home order and the quarantine, like with companies all over the place, working from home now?
Right. Yeah. I mean, so we talk about changing times. So every business model, every business, and I'm sure you see it in yours too, has changed. How do we adapt and remain busy and remain productive and stay in front of our customers? And this challenge is the same for everybody. So in my world of putting logos on things, custom promotional packaging and logo products, there are all kinds of ways that we can help our customers, which most of our business is B2B, business to business, help our customers remain in front of 2 audiences, I guess really their employees, keeping their employees who are all at home productive and happy and somewhat satisfied and content. So there's a way that we can help them reach out to their own employee base, and then as well as helping other businesses reach their target customers who are not at work anymore. They're at home too. So I guess to answer your question, it's finding techniques and methods and products and things to get into people's homes that typically are logoed with messaging that helps accomplish objectives that our customers are looking to achieve.
And when you're doing that, like what you would refer to in the past as clunky mail, now is probably a good time for companies to do something like that because people are home and they're attentive. So now when they get something in the mail, obviously after they wipe it down, they bring it in and they're like, wow, this is some pretty cool stuff. And, everybody loves a little gift in the time of quarantine.
Yeah, that's right. I love the way you said that. And the clunky mail is a fun way to think about that. When something comes to your house, whether you're expecting to receive it or not, it's exciting. There's a certain amount of anticipation of opening. Even junk mail now, you get so little of it anymore that it's exciting to open the Valpak coupons. But if you get a box, and you don't know what's in there, it is always well received. So whether it comes from your employer and it's a work from home kit that may contain logo goodies to help reinforce the company message, whether it's comfortable clothing or hand sanitizer or a face mask or bandanas, or yoga mats. I mean, we've done all kinds of kits in the last couple of months to help keep employees motivated and just let them know that their employer's thinking about them. Then extend that to, your prospecting for your customer base. You're doing the same thing that you might ordinarily do, but it's going to be received much better received now when people are looking for even a 5-minute diversion from the monotony of working from home is going to get you a much better bang for your buck than normal.
Right. I heard you mention masks. Like mask, that's a great one right now. You get companies print up a bunch of masks, and everybody needs a mask right now. Send it out with their logo on it. Who knows?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I've got some with my logo that I created. I mean, I started off with just the blue kind of ugly medical masks, and then a customer of mine asked me if I could do these big bandanas with his logo on there, which I did, and they turned out really cool. But then I sort of thought, not everybody wants to wear a big clunky bandana. So these face masks, again, I've made them with my logo and with his logo. I mean, it is, I don't want to say it's fun because no one wants to be stuck wearing a face mask, but it is interesting to see how people turn these into a bit of a fashion statement. So, I'm a geek about my logo anyway. So if I have to, I'm already wearing my custom hats and t-shirts and jackets, and everything else has my logo. So why wouldn't my face mask have it?
Absolutely. I mean, it sounds bad, but I'll tell you what, if my wife's company decided to do something and send something out to all their employees, why not send them face masks right now? I mean, people would appreciate it. Like when I go out right now, I have like this napkin with a piece of foam type filter that we put inside it, and it goes, and I tie it back behind my head. It's not, I mean, I feel pretty safe with it, but it's not the greatest. I don't actually have a mask. So if I was working for a company that decided to do something for their employees, man, you send them out a little pack of hand sanitizer and face masks. I'll tell you what, those things sound silly, but at a time like this, I'm sure they're appreciated.
Yeah, well, and right now, I mean, not only so when there isn't a pandemic going on, people still like getting a gift in the mail, but something that literally could help save your life or at least protect you from sickness. Yeah, you're right about that. So it actually, you're getting kind of, I don't want to say excited, but kind of jazzed up about this.
Like I said, it sounds strange, but we live in a different world right now.
How we adapt to it is what separates us, right? Well, and as we know, our things live forever. So after this pandemic's over, and we all hope it's sooner rather than later, but yeah, the things that we send now will be there 6 months, a year from now, many years from now in some cases. So, and I think they will be much more appreciated by the people who receive them now. So the impact now, as weird as it sounds, is probably much greater than it would have been 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I guess one thing I like to say about my packaging is it truly is timeless. So as we discussed in episode 1, I'm not doing anything digital. So things that social media, TV commercials, that's not me. But if it's something you hold in your hand, that's something that not only does it live forever, but it never really ages. Maybe even the technology that's utilized in my packaging may age a bit, but it just lives forever. So one kit that I was thinking about that would be fun to talk about was for jerseys, sweatshirts. So a number of years ago, Jerseys came out with a stain-resistant fabric that their sweatshirts would not, they wouldn't stain. You could spill wine on these sweatshirts and it would not, literally the liquid just runs right off of the material. It does not soak in.
Shut up.
No, man, it's not only is it true, but what was fun, the challenge, I always like to talk about the challenges, which typically come to me from ad agencies and graphic designers. So they came to me and they said, listen, Jerseys has this new sweatshirt material, and they want to introduce it to Walmart. And at the time, I don't know how many Walmarts there are now. At the time, there were like 4,000 Walmarts across the United States. Like, we need 4,000 kits, 4,000 things to send out to the Walmarts that basically prove that this sweatshirt material does not absorb liquid, does not stain. What would you do? We need some kind of a kit that is a demonstration kit that literally someone can demonstrate in front of others that this stuff actually works. So we came out with this box that had foam inside of it, and we took the big rolls of sweatshirt material. So before the sweatshirts are made into what looks like a sweatshirt or a hoodie, they come on these large rolls of material like you'd see when you're buying fabric. We took these large rolls of red sweatshirt material. The brand name was Spot Shield. So we die cut it in the shape of a shield and mounted it to foam. So you've got the red sweatshirt material, die cut in the shape of a shield, mounted to foam. The foam goes into my little box, and next to that little shield is a vial or a medicine dropper full of red wine. And then underneath that is a lift-off lid that reveals a bunch of blazer buttons. So this box did arrive to Walmart. You open it up, inside you see the little Spot Shield fabric piece, and literally you pull out the little medicine dropper, you drop on a couple little drops of the red wine, it runs down the little shield, disappears into the foam in the kit. And then the concept, the thought was you then lift off the little lid, everybody gets a blazer button, the Walmart associates put it on, they start marketing the new sweatshirts, and everybody's happy.
Wow. That's crazy. For as messy as my kids are, why don't I have those jersey and sweatshirts for my kids? Because they're slobs.
Yeah, you're right. So those are I do a lot of those product demonstration kits, and it's always fun to you start with a challenge, and then how do I make that actually happen? So as we talked about in episode 1, that's what I do, is accomplish or solve people's problems and marketing problems. How do you show somebody quickly, concisely, and in a way that really proves the point?
That's really, really impactful. Like, you can tell me that it doesn't stain all day long, but if you can show me that it doesn't stain, that's a different story.
Agreed. So I did another kit. Again, this one goes back a few years, but timeless. One of, St. Louis is big in ag business, agriculture, and the soybean associations that market their various soy products to farmers have been huge customers of mine. And I've done probably 200 different kits over the years that in some way or another talk about the benefits of soybeans, growing soybeans,
soybeans, how to use soy used in various products, whether it's soybeans, soy biodiesel. Soybeans can be used to literally make anything.
Right.
So one of these kits had, I think it was 7 or 8 different stages of manufacture of soybeans. So you either have the whole soybean or it's ground into partially soybean chunks, and at some point it gets all the way finely refined into like dust, almost looks like flour. So we wanted a kit to display these various soybean particles, if you will. And again, it had to be little, it had to sit on a desk, it needed to open up, and it needed to show in one compelling visual what these soybeans looked like. And the challenge was, how do you do that? So our solution was to take these soy products and put them into test tubes, clear test tubes with a screw-on lid, and then stack them all on top of each other and mount them into a box with a see-through window, if you will. So when you open up this box, you instantly, in one visual, see all these various soy products. Neat little piece. Just one of my favorite things that I've ever done. And it had a hidden compartment that if you open the top, you kind of slide out all of those test tubes, and they're all racked into a convenient little carrying case, if you will.
That's crazy. I love the way you go about showing it. You know, it's really taking that box out of the box. You know?
Yeah, I like that, man.
It's really cool. I mean, because you get something like that in the mail, or somebody shows up with that. It's almost like you're creating magic tricks. I mean, but it's something that will definitely get your attention. I mean, somebody's going to stare and they're going to tell somebody else, going, "Hey, look at this over here. Check this out. This is really, really cool." From then on, then it helps with the word of mouth marketing as well.
Right. No, I love the way you said that. The magic of everyone wants to know how these things work. And what's fun is you can deconstruct, in many cases, deconstruct my packaging. So how do they get all those little, I can see these soybeans in these clear vials, but how does it work? So then they're pulling out flaps and sliding things out. And yeah, it really creates maybe a topic that isn't the most stimulating, like soybeans. How do you make soybeans fun? But it turns it into kind of a game or an activity. That's probably the best way. That's kind of an activity,
Gaining anybody's attention these days, especially in the time of, social media and the short attention span and things like that, is amazing. If you can get somebody to stop and even pay you 5 minutes of attention, that does wonders for your customers right there.
I love it, man.
And in the time of social media, they send out something like that. That somebody gets something cool like that in the mail, or they see a cool demonstration. What are they going to do? They're going to retweet that. They're going to put that up on Instagram, Facebook, wherever it might be. And it goes from there, much like what happened with, your stuff for the NBA. Those NBA players love that stuff so much that they started retweeting pictures of your product.
Right. Yeah, that's the ultimate success for me. And sometimes, so you talk about social media, and a lot of these things that I've talked about actually happened before the time of social media, if you can believe that. But I did an interesting direct mail box for a bank, a local bank here in St. Louis, that basically was just trying to drive people to show up to the new branch opening. A new branch opened, and they had, maybe 5,000 people they were trying to target. And how do you get Brendan and Jeff to show up to the new bank lobby? Again, a business model that everybody needs, but maybe you're not that excited. What gets Jeff out of his house and shows up to the bank? So their concept and their thought was they wanted to be your bank for life. So how do we pitch that? And so we came up with the idea of, let's pitch almost like you're getting married. We want to be wed to you. We want you to think of us as a partner. We're a partner for life. And so we came up with a wedding ring. Oh, I can't speak. A wedding ring theme. So a box that was beautifully printed that looked like a wedding invitation. It had a guy in a tuxedo, and it had beautiful floral arrangements and flowers and things that felt wedding-like. And I think on the outside it said, "Will you be our customer?" And when you open the lid of this box, inside was a beautiful velour, a real ring box, just like you'd give the ring to someone in a box. And you open the velour box. On the inside lid of this velour box was foil stamped with the logo of the bank
and a beautiful fake wedding ring inside. And in the inside lid of this box says something like, "Will you be our customer again?" And just the whole concept of, we want to be your partner for life. And the reaction to this kit was just extreme. They literally could not receive as many customers as showed up to the bank lobby the day that this branch opened. Was crazy. And the bank was so excited by it, we then repeated it every time they opened